Well, we've been telling you about the astonishing performance today of Australian Strategic Materials, easily the best performing share on our stock market. Its shares up close on 120% today. That follows a takeover deal announced this morning worth around $450 million with the US critical minerals business Energy Fuels. Now, the deal will accelerate existing plans to process critical minerals from ASM's mine near Dubbo in New South Wales. Rowena Smith is the Managing Director and CEO at Australian Strategic Materials. I spoke with her a little earlier.
Well, what we've got in Korea, as you say, is an operation that's already established. What we're doing in the States is currently planning to replicate that plant. But the success of our metals plants is ultimately dependent on the success of the ecosystem around it. So we've been working on developing partnerships that will really support both feed and offtake for those facilities. And our own project in Dubbo in New South Wales has been one of the key projects that we've been committed to developing as feed for those. But we've also been looking for third-party feeds and ideally feeds that will come on earlier. So this deal with Energy Fuels is really exciting for us because they have got projects, one in particular in Australia, the Donald project that they're in joint venture with Astron, that is anticipated to be in production. They're taking FID very shortly, is my expectation, and they're looking to bring that into production in the next 18 months or so. And that then will be feed that can go into their existing solvent extraction facility in Utah in the States. Because they are already producing uranium, they have been doing solvent extraction for uranium in the States now for over 40 years. And that is the same technology that you need for taking those ores and concentrates and turning them into the separated oxides that are a feed for our metals plants. So what we have here in combination with these assets is we have a supply chain that goes all the way from mine through the oxides, through to the metals, through to the alloys, very rapidly. We would have a near-term Western end-to-end supply chain and a champion for this emerging industry.
Okay, now the idea of this is to create alternative supply to Chinese supply, which dominates it right now. I understand that, but does it really make a significant difference, an inroad into that Chinese supply, given the fact that in, say, nickel, in other metals, that they have really overproduced, brought down prices and almost crippled some operators in the past?
It's very important that we have got a strategic supply that is independent for our defence industries. So that's something that has been identified as of strategic importance by governments like the US government, like the Australia government. But it's also recognised that these are materials that are fundamental to the growth of robotics, to semiconductors, to the clean energy transition. And we need to make sure that as those industries grow, that we've got more diversity in our supply chain and allow, this supply chain to be robust. So, I'm very confident that the kind of volumes that we're talking about here are going to find, a strong market as this alternative supply chain develops. What's really exciting for us is that we are going to be doing this in partnership with a partner who've got both strong funding and operational credibility, and who together we're able to do this in an end-to-end fashion.
There's one other aspect of this deal, and that is, even though it's a significant premium on what the share price was previously, it's a scrip offer, so it's shares for shares. So your shareholders will continue to have a benefit as this project comes on, as these projects come on stream.
Absolutely. That was really important to us as we negotiated this mechanism or this structure, because we've got shareholders who are very committed to this vision that we have built to build a mine-to-metal supply chain and who have been very supportive. And we wanted to make sure that the synergies that we knew this was going to create were being shared fairly with ASM shareholders. So we do have a fixed ratio, which as Energy Fuel shares, the share price goes up, the value of this offer goes up. Already, we talked about in the offer that it was $1.60 implied value. That was based on Friday's share price, but already that share price has come up since then. And in fact, the implied value today is closer to $1.98. and a premium of 176% on where we traded as at end of yesterday. So, you know, it'll be exciting to see how the market responds to this for energy fuels. And also as we then continue to expand the metals plant, as we do Dubbo, and as the growth portfolio that energy fuels are already progressing also comes to fruition, including their Donald project, all of that value then will continue to enhance the value of this offer.
I'll tell you what, good to chat to you, Rowena Smith, Chief Executive at Australian Strategic Materials. It's a big deal, there's no doubt, for your company and the share price today. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Ross.